Hello and welcome to 365 Days with the Manifestor, day 20. And I'm going to do a little reading again from this book. I've been reading into this a lot today as I try to recuperate from my little injury of, it's really gruesome under that bandage. We won't go into that. But I've been looking into the head center, the head center, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I was talking about how 30% of the population has a defined head center. You know, with a defined head center, people have a consistent mental pressure to ask and to answer the questions and to grasp and to understand things. It says, including consciousness itself. But 70% of the population has an undefined head center. But I was going to read real briefly about the biological correlation it talks about here. And here's what it says. Biologically, the head center is associated with our pineal gland, which regulates the flow of information between the gray areas of the brain and the neocortex, or between the head and the ajna center. More than 90% of the mental processes take place deep within the gray areas of the brain, below our level of conscious awareness, and everything that is processed by our brain is filtered through accumulated past experience. This creates a pressure that manifests as questions seeking answers, or the need to know the whys of life. You guys know what I mean about that, I'm sure. It fuels or drives our thinking and conceptualizing and how we process the consciousness field. So I thought that was kind of an interesting take on that, the biological correlation of that head center as dealing with the pineal gland, and understanding how that the pressure to ask those questions comes, from that area. The undefined head center is what I was really looking at, and I have what is called a completely open head center. So I'm going to read that because it's a little different than just the open head center. Okay, completely open means that it has no gates or channels active in there either. And so the completely open center says, let's try that again. Those without gate activations in the head center have no innate way of recognizing when one thing is more inspiring or interesting than any other. There is no consistent means of connecting mental pressure to the rest of their design, or to naturally ease them into a familiar way of thinking about things or entering into dialogue with another person. They don't know what to focus on, especially in this overwhelming age of information. I can't even tell you how true that statement is. They simply don't know what to think about, what matters or doesn't matter, or why, and often fear thinking about anything at all. Well, I will tell you that for me, that's not true. I think about things all the time, and the issue is what's really relevant and what's really meaningful in my life to be thinking about. Not fearful of thinking, though, I will say. Where was I? Okay. Such anxiety can lead to disconnecting from their intellect and avoiding conversations that are intellectually stimulating. Again, not the way I'm made up, but some of you may feel that way. Or they can become easily distracted by the pressure to think up answers or give away their authority by relying on others to tell them what is interesting, inspiring, or important. In order to enjoy their In order to enjoy their healthy and boundless capacity for wisdom and to understand the pressure behind the question and discern what is inspiring, completely open head centers need to allow the often amplified mental pressure they experience to pass through without identifying with any part of it. So, not identifying with our thoughts. Big key. As they become comfortable with themselves over time, they become sensitive to the nuances of the head center and its true gifts and can gauge who uses their minds effectively and who does not. They may even be sensitive enough to ascertain what others are thinking. In this way, deep explorations into all that their minds can inspire will fill them with wonder. So, the not self theme talk and things that happen with the undefined head center are these. It says, the mental monologue could sound like this with an undefined head center. I need to find something inspiring. Maybe if I go there, I'll find something. Oh, sorry, almost dropping the phone. Maybe if I go there, I'll find something inspiring. I need to find an answer to my questions. Where can I go to find the answers? Who has the answers? I've got to understand this and make sense of that. Where can I go for, or whom can I talk to in order to find the answers? So familiar, right? Is this supposed to be interesting? What should I be thinking about? Those are all some questions. So I just found like this was really helpful to me. And if anybody out there also has the completely open head center, you'll understand a lot of what was read there. And so our goal then is to simply disassociate from our thoughts so that we can figure out what is truly ours and what's relevant to us. And again, authority plays a big role in that, right? So taking that for me through the splenic authority, being like, hey, is this what I need to be doing in this moment? And doing a real quick check on that. And then obviously you guys have your own authority to be playing around with. So I thought that was really fascinating and definitely worth reading to you guys, because I know, again, not everyone has access to this book. And I find it really important to read the words that are original to the raw, because sometimes I think it can get lost in interpretation. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody out there, and I know it's helped me to try to step back from my thoughts and reevaluate when my mind starts going on wild goose chases, just to let those thoughts go and just like, woo, that was wild, and a lot of thoughts, but we don't have to track them all. We don't have to jump on all of them. So, particularly as a manifestor, I don't need to speak them all. All right, so I hope all is well with you. I'm going to be continuing to heal from that yuckiness, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.